I had this thought as I was cleaning up various pieces of electronics, like this DX440 from Realistic. And I've got cards over here. I've got some ZX81 Sinclairs. I've got an old Cylon type printer from Apple. And I had this thought, why is it that I have to settle for a particular price? And of course, all of that revolves around supply and demand. Why is it that I want to start my auction price at a certain amount of money? And, I'm showing you how I do some of that research, but I got thinking, why not break the mold a little bit? Why not go for what I think might be crazy price and see if something will sell? And we're going to dive into that with these right here. This is an Apple II Control, an original with the label on it. That's the key. That is why we're going to go for such a high price on this. Let's flip over to the other camera and take a look at these things. Here we have these two Apple controllers. These would have come with most likely an Apple II computer. I cannot say that for 100% certainty, but it seems like with the research online that I've found that is very likely the case. They connect to this 16 pin connector. Let's see if we can get that in here. It is this little jumper that will connect to the motherboard, to a game I/O that's on the motherboard. I'm going to jump to the other camera and see if I can show you a little bit better picture of those right here. This is the connector that would connect to the motherboard. So I had this thought as I'm looking at these, and I need to clean these things up. But I had this thought as I was looking and researching on these. I'm having a hard time finding them. And we'll jump to eBay in a little bit here. But as I'm digging around on eBay on these things, these are the only ones that I could find that actually have the sticker still intact. And it's not like almost going to come off or anything. It just seems like it's still on there really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these things up very carefully. I am going to wipe down with a little bit of spray. I'm just using some of this 409 multi-surface cleaner and a paper towel. But I want to be super careful about not getting any liquid onto this sticker right here. I'm just going to dry wipe around that area. I just want a little bit because I want to be able to get my finger into some of these grooves. I'm just going to very carefully wipe the bottom and wipe the sides and stay clear of where that sticker is located. As I was digging around online and I'm looking for the information on these, because I'm always using things like ChatGPT. I'm always using the AI and going out there and seeing what I can figure out from using various tools and eBay and digging around. As I was looking for information on these, it was asking about a part number. Well, if you've got the part number, then I can tell you what the value is. That's what AI was telling me. And I'm like, well, it doesn't have a part number on it. And then I saw these different versions of these. There's these cream colored versions that are out there. And maybe those have a part number on them. I'm not actually positive about that. I want to clean these up so they look really good. Get all the little dust out of there that I can, because I don't want it to look like they are. And I also want to make sure I take really good pictures of these because I'm going for a premium. I think this is a fun experiment. Kind of gets your brain unlocked a little bit. Well, why do I have to settle for the same amount of money? And a lot of times I do the buy it now. And the reason I do the buy it now is I know as a buyer, a lot of times that's exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, doesn't that look great? Nice and shiny in the center of that. That's awesome. A lot of times when I'm buying, I do the buy it now. And the reason is simple. I just want to be able to order it and have it shipped. And I don't want to compete with everybody else out there. And I think that kind of mentality is going to give an edge on a product like this. You've got a lot of people out there that are Apple collectors. They're looking for the best items out there to showcase for the different eras of Apple computers and all of that. And because these have the logo on them, that's going to be that. I mean, I'm going to brighten up this camera just a little bit. Now that's a little better. That shows the detail a little bit better. So the buy it now is a great way to go. But the problem is, man, do you really know? Are you really sure that you got as much as you could have for something? So that's really the question I'm trying to answer, trying to get my brain unlocked so that I can be better thinking about things from the perspective of what's the most I can try and get from this. Because there's going to be that person, there's always going to be that person that is going to want to buy. Let's say one person has a budget and their budget is $150. Another person's got a budget and they look at these controllers and they say, well, my budget's $500. There's no way to tell if you're at an auction if you've really pushed the limit. But that person that wants to buy these for $500 would be, and I'm not going to list them for 500. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but the person that wants to buy these for $500, they're going to buy it for $500. And here I've got the handy dandy Wolf box, and I'm going to cover up where that sticker is, and I'm going to turn this on, and I'm just going to blow it inside underneath here. So the last thing I'm going to do after I've cleaned all these up, I've got a little wire tie on here, kind of neaten up the cables a little bit. And I'm going to take a picture on this white background. And I think that will really make it look good. And beautiful. They look awesome. Now, I took pictures of the paddles. I took pictures of the backs. And now we're going to dig into the research side of this and see if I can get more for these than anybody that I can see has gotten for them on eBay. So I guess first thing we need to do is hop over to eBay and actually see what these things are listing for. Let's go Apple to paddles. And let's hop down to sold items. Well, they're not square. They are like this, but you see, this is $45. I know I've said before, when you can test something, test it. I'm not going to test these. And I honestly don't believe that a collector who is probably never going to use them is going to care that much. I think what they're going to care about is, wow, look at that. Those Apple logos are intact. 2 pair of them here. There's another one here. Well, we've got quite a few of these. Parts only, untested. All right, let's do this. We're going to sort now this for highest first. $76 untested. And it was located in the US. Well, that's a good sign. 45, we saw those already. We already have those ones. Yeah, so the rest of these are okay. So let's take a look at all of these. Let's go with the high one first and work our way backwards. See original listing. Let's see if we can see any evidence on this picture of whether or not a sticker was even on here. I think that's might be hard to tell. I don't know if you can tell right here, but there's a line right here that looks like it might have been a lopsided from a lopsided sticker. So this could have been very similar paddle with a sticker on it. I mean, it looks identical other than the sticker, in my opinion. I might be missing something here. Ooh, I can tell on here that the pins are in really bad shape. Do they get a picture of the pins? Oh gosh, this is a horror show. And it sold for $76. Look at that right there. Pins broken off. Somebody ripped this off the board, or yeah, I don't know what they did here. That's bad. Very, very bad. So $76 makes sense. I get if that's what that sold for in such bad shape, then we should really be looking for a premium. Let's look at some of these other ones. Decent shape. This pin is in decent shape here. They really could have cleaned these up a little bit more. These are a red button. Mine are a black button, so they're really not exactly the same. Let's look at this one. Well, that one looks like a red button too. What was the original one I was looking at? Was black button. Okay. That might be a difference that collectors are looking for. I'm not really sure. I'm going to do something crazy here. I am going to say that I want to sell these for $300. What do you think? $300. Should we go 300? Do I hear a 300? How about a 350? I was thinking $200, and that would still be the highest price these have ever that I can see these paddles as far as the completed listings that you can see on eBay. I think $300 would be $200 is definitely way more than what we've seen for the highest price. And I'm thinking, why not list it at $300? And let's see if we get a collector out there that will pay $300. That would be more than 3x the $76. Actually, let's do the math on that, and let's find. We're gonna go for $299. We're so close to 4xing that price. $76. What is 76 times 4? $304. Well, let's see if we can get $304 for these Apple paddles with the sticker on them. I feel like this is quite a gamble, but I am curious if we can 4x this $76. And again, I'm thinking outlandish, I know, but sometimes you've got people out there that are willing to pay way more for something. And I know that Apple logo has got to mean something to somebody out there that's looking for a pair of these for maybe to complete a set or something, that is looking for that beautiful, beautiful Apple logo on that sticker. So let's go for it. Now with this, somebody asked me, said, look, Dana, you kind of walk through all of setting up your auction very quickly. How do you do it? So let me show you exactly how to set up an auction. I'm going to do, if we go to see original listing, or we can do sell one like this, by the way, right on the screen. And this is going to show up in different places on different screens. So on this screen, it says sell one like this, have one to sell now. It's the same, takes you to the same place. So I found one online. That's what I typically want to do. And then I'm going to say sell now. And I'm going to go get my pictures. My workflow and your workflow, as far as pictures go, it's probably going to be a little different. For me, I'm taking pictures on my phone, but they're actually dropping onto my Synology. So for you, you're probably going to have to take them from your phone and transfer them that way. But here's what I do. I'm going to grab these photos out of my Synology and I'm going to download them. Then I'm just taking all of those pictures from my computer and I'm dragging them into the listing. Love it. I love it. I think that looks awesome. Let's put that one as the primary picture. People are going to want to see that. All right, I don't like this way this title is worded. Vintage. I believe these are Apple II. Actually, I have an Apple II here. I can actually look and see if the pinout's the same on the Apple II. And it is. The Game I/O is 16-pin. I do believe this to be Apple II. If I'm wrong about this, somebody out there is going to correct me, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. Somebody's going to be like, Dana, you got the wrong one. Something weird and obscure, I know. But let me jump back over to the camera on this. These have a black button. I notice many online have the red button. I don't have any idea if that means anything. If you happen to know the answer to that question, please let me know. So on the title, I'm modifying the title just a little bit. Vintage Apple II Plus paddle controllers, 1980s. Boy, it could be as early as the late 70s. Let's do late 70s, early 80s. I don't like the way that words it. Let's do it this way. Vintage Apple II Plus paddle controllers, late 70s to early 80s, black buttons. Somebody out there is going to correct me if I'm wrong about this being an Apple II versus an Apple Plus. So I'm going to drop the plus because I do believe they are Apple II. And actually, I did find, by the way, see, these say Apple II 16-pin. So I don't know. It's a good question. AI search here says that they are very likely to be late 70s controllers. So let's drop this early 80s and let's do 1970s black buttons. I know I'm taking a risk here. I do not believe that I am misrepresenting the product. And that's my biggest concern with this. But there are links online to the evolution of, somebody's got a video about the evolution of these paddles. So I'm leaving all of this here. I'm saying used, excellent condition, untested. I'm just going to grab this And then the next thing I do when I get this description is here and I read it. And by the way, this is cool because you can do bolding and all of that and just basically copy straight from ChatGPT over here. But let's make sure this sounds accurate. Up for sale is a pair of vintage Apple II paddles. These are the black rectangular style with the black button, believed to be the early production version that likely shipped with Apple II systems in the late 1970s. Please verify if you're collecting by exact production year. That's good. Overall, excellent overall. The 16-pin connector is in excellent shape with no cracks or bent pins. The Apple logo sticker is also in great condition with clear. It's black and white. Plastic housings are clean with only light handling marks. I'm going to say super clean. Untested, being sold as is. A nice example for collectors of early Apple hardware was a display piece alongside an Apple II system. Wow, here we go. We're going to 4x the $76. We're going to go 304. Quantity 1. And I've already got a shipping box from Walmart. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those dimensions on here. Their shipping rates are there. Not doing local pickup on this. All right, let's walk through the sections that you need to have here in your listing so that if you're going through this and you're like, man, this is the first time, I whiz through these things and I skip stuff. And even when I'm trying to do it with intention, I know I'm missing something. I'm not explaining the things. I just am thinking muscle memory. So here we've got the photos. Always make sure your photos are nice and clear. You can crop them if you want to. I think these look great. I'm not concerned about the photos. We can see that all 16 pins are in excellent condition. Perfect. Vintage Apple II paddle controllers, 1970s black buttons. The item category, vintage computers and mainframes. Yeah, there's a mainframe. I hacked the mainframe, man. Apple II, desktop computers, and all-in-ones. I'm skipping this. United States, unit quantity, unit type, vintage, yes. Manufacturer warranty, no. It's just the same. Variations are uneligible for this listing. And here I've got the condition. Here I've got the description, which I just pasted from ChatGPT and then edited a little bit. Buy it now. Quantity 1. Require immediate payment. I do want to make sure require immediate payment is turned on when they buy. And then I just really have these here. Auto price reduction. I'm not going to do that. Allow offers. Nope. If I allow offers, then really what I'm saying is, hey, you know what? Take your time. Dicker with me on this. And I don't want to get into that. Schedule your listing. I'm just going to list it right now. The shipping, package, dimensions, calculated. And let's also add on here UPS ground. Somebody might want to do ground service, and that's fine with me as well. And that's it. I mean, all of the rest of the stuff should basically whatever you've got set up in your account. I'm going to scroll down here to list it. So what do you think? Is it going to make it? I hope so. $304 would be a nice pull on those Apple II controllers. Dana from Electric Treasure here, and I hope that you find this video helpful. Please let me know in comments things you'd like to see, things I can do different, slow down certain areas, speed it up, you're dragging it on. Just let me know. It's all cool. Thanks. Bye.